Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I released a video earlier today saying I couldn't get a hold of Kyle for the Zeus versus Adam fight. During that actual video, Kyle ended up showing up, so we can do Zeus versus Adam now. Camera. Alright, so do you want to... How do we... I already forgot how we started off Zeus versus Thor, or not Thor, Thor versus Lubu. I already forgot how we started off, because we did background knowledge for it, right?
Yeah, we did a little bit of that.
Okay. Is there any background knowledge we need to cover specifically for this fight, or no? Well, we can go over their backstories later, but I'm just saying any lore thing.
Not particularly. Not really. Not unless you want to try and speculate on heaven.
All right. Okay, so we have Zeus's introduction. Zeus does darken the entire sky of heaven, presumably, since later on we do get a reference from Shiva that it is heaven as a whole. And Zeus is referred to as the godfather of the cosmos. This is more of an age thing than anything else, but I guess that would be way older than just father of the cosmos, which brings the question, how the universe was created in this series. You have anything to add to that, Kyle, or no?
No, I just enjoy Zeus's character.
I remember the first time Kyle showed me Zeus was on a stream, and it was the fucking craziest shit I'd ever seen. Kyle?
Yeah, it is. Zeus has getting into one of the things. Zeus has a direct reference from Heimdall that he can return anything to the void.
Yeah, so right after that, Zeus does have creational... And this is again where the problem comes in of how the universe is created, because Zeus seems to have pure level, creation abilities in general, which would imply that he created the universe, but he didn't, because he was only there to witness the Big Bang, and Kronos was before him, so they were around prior to the universe's creation as well, given the fact that he's a personification of time.
That, and if you want to take, the way they do mythology, that would also mean that Kronos at some point would have had to have killed his father, Uranus.
Oh, yeah, fuck. Wait, so then how old can Zeus be then? He was there for the Big Bang, that's confirmed. So did the gods exist, or did these people exist prior to the events of the universe?
Well, that's the only way to explain it, that the Titans existed before the Big Bang.
I wish it would... I mean, we're never going to get confirmation on this, but I kind of wish they'd confirm how old Zeus was when he saw the Big Bang. Yeah, no, okay, so... Yeah. That would mean that Zeus at bare minimum would have to exist prior to the universe, which is fine, but we don't know how many gods would actually go to that, because he is the king of the gods, as stated here. Eons ago. And eons, 1,000 years, or is that I don't know.
Eons are millions, I believe.
Yeah, so there is some reference to a time frame. Also, Zeus has crazy muscle manipulation. Which I will say, I don't know if this is a part of his lore, but the actual writer did a really good choice on Zeus's power being muscle manipulation instead of just straight lightning. It's interesting, but I don't know if that's supported by mythology.
It kind of is. But I also like this one as well. He's known as the king of the gods, so this automatically implies there is no god above him.
Yeah. We also know that he is the chairman of the gods, because that's stated in the first one. So he seems to hold the highest position of power among the gods. And this is supported... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and before anyone tries to say, oh, that could just mean for the Greek pantheon. No, this series goes well out of its way to explain which god is the strongest from what pantheon.
Yeah, and then we have the very next panel here Kyle presents to us. He straight up forces Shiva to the ground with just one hand in his weakest form, casually. Even though Shiva doesn't directly back off, this is after... So Shiva threatens him with his full eye, with all of his eyes open, super angry to try and scare him off. And he gets scared by Zeus, and then Zeus pushes him to the ground, if I remember correctly. So this is Shiva
he forces him to the ground.
Yeah, so this is a Shiva who's actually hey, back the fuck up. I want to fight Adam. And then Zeus is my turn. Yeah, no, so Zeus very clearly seems to be far stronger than the other gods by comparison.
This is backed up for the fact that Shiva is literally quoted as the god of creation and destruction of the Indian pantheon, and the fact that he's the strongest god of that pantheon as well.
Is that like in normal mythology, or is that stated in the manga?
Pretty much it's shared by three gods, but they might roll Shiva to just be like the one main one.
I will say I always thought Shiva was a girl because like that's how they're depicted in almost every other fucking medium. But I guess
in mythology he is male.
All right. Okay, so now we're so in terms of physical strength. Well, actually, no, we actually can't even talk about that because first we gotta go through all the feats and then we gotta recap it because the feats get more crazy when Zeus gets into his more serious forms. We start off with specifically referred to as lightning fast jabs from Zeus in his. This is still ultimately his base form. I don't think this is like second form. If I remember correctly, this is still like relatively low form.
I believe I think this is stated after he goes into his second form. Because he goes into his second form before the fight starts, so he can intimidate Adam.
Right. Yeah, I know. So then we have 0.0000001 second punch reaction times. And then we have... I don't think the Divine Axe is faster, but it should be, given how Zeus does it.
Well, the fact is, well, you can kind of calculate, because a kick is supposed to be 3 times stronger than a punch.
Okay, so it's a stronger attack, but are feet normally faster? I wouldn't know if there's...
They should be, depending on if you train your feet.
I think we can safely assume Zeus trains his feet. He looks like he never skips any sort of day. Okay, so from what I understand, in order to react to light speed, you have to be at around 5 zeros after, well, seconds, like 5 zeros down, if I remember correctly, because that's what Kyle said, and I believe someone else also confirmed that in one of my comments for my last video.
I didn't say that. I said maybe.
What, you're covering your ass now?
But we should note as well that Adam can attack just as fast as Zeus.
Yeah, no. The next one's going to be Adam just directly returns all of Zeus's attacks at the same speed. And Zeus is caught off guard by this because, well, I think everyone's basically caught off by this. He also is able to directly copy all of Zeus's attacks, even the meteor jab, which does show meteors, but I don't know if, like, that's indicative of anything actually serious. Oh, can't forget the Divine Axe as well. The thing worth mentioning here that I do want to clarify is, as far as of right now, Adam is the only human who can hurt a god without needing a Valkyrie weapon, because he is able to hurt Zeus without using the Knuckle Duster.
Without his Voland, he's pretty much shown to be the only god who can physically hurt any of them.
Yeah,
which would make sense, because he originated in heaven.
Yeah. And then we have Zeus congratulate... Zeus is... Hello?
Zeus is awesome.
No, he is. Like, his design... The designs this series have been probably some of the best I've seen in recent mangas, just in general. The one time Zeus's eyes don't look gross as shit.
Why? Because they're closed?
No, they are open. You see them a little bit, but you see, like, the black and then the white pupil inside. Yeah, no, so, Kyle has the next panel right here, but Adam, all humans possess an ability in this series. Adam's is just straight up copying any ability he sees and improving upon it, more or less.
There is a statement later on where it's literally stated that he copies a technique and makes it better.
Yeah, no, this is referred to as Eyes of the Lord. The only real problem with Eyes of the Lord is you could argue, like, very specific wording here, because it directly says he can copy the technique of the gods. So, if you were to say use him in a matchup, you could argue that he can't copy techniques outside of the gods. But I'm not sure if that'd be very fair, given that the only thing that really would scale that high would be the gods themselves in this verse.
Well, the problem is, I can't see why he wouldn't be able to copy powers. Like, just himself, because later on, he copies a move that just should not be able to be seen.
Yeah, no, I haven't had this much fun in quite a few millennia. Oh yeah, and here we have a Zeus's a much faster technique by Zeus where he builds up momentum, and Adam dodges it, and then Adam proceeds to copy the exact same move, and it works effectively on Zeus.
Yeah, so he pretty much tags a faster Zeus.
Yes. And then Zeus uses his attack here. Now this is the attack that is going to have the most like things we're talking, or this is going to be the big attack here. So Zeus defeats and completely conquers the mightiest titan and personification of time, Kronos. So he beats him in a fight, but Kronos is able to land one attack on Zeus, and that attack comes from an ability or an attack that literally exerts control over all time. So this is a complete time stop. The manga shows us it's a complete time stop. Everything about the punch is meant to be a complete time stop. And then Adam immediately... Oh, hang on a minute. I actually need to check something real fast. When I click this, what's it show? It just shows that real fast. I just gotta make sure, like, Kyle's still in the call. It's stated to be a fist that surpassed time and also exert control over all time. And then Adam immediately counters it.
Adam literally moves during the time stop and copies the technique, which means he can literally copy different techniques that can control time. So that's why if he goes up against different verses, there should be absolutely no reason why he couldn't copy techniques from their verse.
Okay, so now you could make the argument that Adam has copied the attack before the punch has gone through, because we do see him react in surprise to Zeus's punch. But considering he's not shown to be outside of the time stop, I think it's just more logical to say that he just copies it within the stop time itself.
So, like, easily, even if you want to say that Zeus's punch controls time, even if you want to be, like, flavorful like that, Adam himself has an infinite speed because he's able to copy and use the attack straight away.
Yeah. That seems to be a pretty easy conclusion here, and given that there is a time stop here, just by
scaling back to Adam, that would also put Zeus at infinite speed. Even if you don't want to say the fist that surpasses time is infinite, being able to scale back down to Adam, who can keep up with a stronger and faster Zeus, would put him at that level anyway.
This attack directly stops time completely. There's no question about it. This is a time stop. Zeus gets stronger in his final form, and this exerts his full power. So the question on the table here is, does Zeus move at infinite speed? Well, Adam can move at infinite speed since he can move within the stop time. Does Zeus scale to that level of speed in his final form, even if the other gods can see them? And do we just assume that the gods just aren't immune to time stop? Is that like...
Well, he should. Well, he should, because later on, Zeus is capable of tagging Adam, like, continuously.
Oh, and then we have Kyle's personal opinion about Hermes.
It is not an opinion. Bite me.
So Hermes, Ares. This is the god of war, Ares. Ares is like, what the hell's going on? How did Zeus get beat? And Hermes decides to describe what happened. And then he says, of course not. Just got the feeling from watching.
Which is bullshit. He knew exactly what was going on.
I don't know, Kyle.
He saw everything. Nah, son. He saw everything that happened. So Hermes can definitely move at those speeds, or at least perceive. But something to note as well, when Ares picks Hermes up, Hermes scares the shit out of Ares, like, straight away and makes him shit himself.
Yeah, no, like, you see in the panel here, I mean, obviously the actual series conclusion is that Hermes can just move within the stop time, or at the very least can perceive the events within the stop time. But, yeah, no, like, I'm cheeky about it, but no, Ares basically outright confirms that Hermes is way stronger than him. Ares is
under that panel, yeah, Under that panel, we have Gear like fully explain that Adam copies the technique and makes it better.
Yeah, so he is able to surpass the original techniques he copies, which is how he was able to kill Zeus. Because I'm gonna say this now, but I guess I'll put spoilers at the beginning of the video, like in like the description. Zeus survives this punch when he fucking shouldn't. His head is twisted all the way back. The series has made it clear that human-like injuries are the same on humans as it is on the gods. Zeus should be dead at that point, but he doesn't die. And that's bullshit.
I actually forgot to get that one.
Just forgot to get my fucking pure fucking rage-filled shit here. And here we have Zeus's final form in terms of Diamond Zeus or Adamus Zeus. So this, does the next one actually explain what it is or no? Yeah, it does. Okay, perfect.
The next one I explain in order of the panels.
Yeah, okay.
What means what?
Yeah, so we have Ares saying it's immense power, and then Hermes is like, he can only take that form for like 5 or 6 minutes because of all the injuries he's taken from the fight with Adam. Shiva does basically confirm that this form would destroy heaven if he's not careful. And basically what Zeus does is he just hyper compresses all of his muscles together. Or just compresses his muscles all together. You could hear them scream as they held back the overwhelming power. Adam, for the first time, actually takes a guard. And here's the full description. It involved condensing and stockpiling energy through the physical compression of muscle. Zeus would simply direct that power into his fist and release it in one blow. Its simplicity makes it the strongest strike. And it's called God's Right.
Yeah, and on top of that, Adam copies this exact punch. And this punch should be faster and stronger than the one that surpassed time.
Yeah, it just doesn't have the time stop. So this would mean that, like... So, logically, if Adam does have infinite speed, basically being able to move within the stop time, this attack at bare minimum would have to have infinite speed, but this would just mean that the gods are not immune to time manipulation. Because the gods can perceive the fight between a full-powered Zeus and Adam, or, I guess, a stronger Adam.
And what it also seems as well is that whatever speed and power Adam copies the power, that's what it sticks at and just becomes better.
Yeah, and Adam does land the first blow, but Zeus just continuously keeps using this ability over and over again. I will say this, I didn't think about this the first time I was fighting it, but this is actually a super incredible durability feat for Zeus, because Adam's punches should be hitting a lot harder than Zeus's.
Yeah, exactly.
So Zeus is over here just tanking it like a man.
And on top of this is on top of the fact that his body is in extreme pain for being in this form.
Yeah, so Zeus's endurance is fucking insane. Unfortunately, go on.
We do get to the downside of the Eyes of the Lord. The Eyes of the Lord are not invincible. The more he uses it, the more strain it puts on his nervous system, and if he uses them too much, kind of like the Mangekyo Sharingan, he can go blind.
I do want to point out, though, that this fight lasts only 7 minutes. But from the very beginning, they're moving in less than a second's worth of time. So this fight is going on a lot longer than what's being implied by just the 7 minutes alone. So yeah, Adam does have he does have a limit to how many things he can copy. But keep in mind, he's copied probably over thousands of punches by this point if they are barraging at speeds comparable to the original punches, you know? So yeah, it's there, but it's an insane amount of shit he had to have copied by this point.
Yeah, and it kind of also raises the point that the Eyes don't just copy techniques, they kind of give him kind of a higher perception.
Yeah, because at this point, the only way he can avoid Zeus's punches at that level is he has to keep copying them. Or at the I think that's just to copy the exact strike so it doesn't hit him. He should be able to move at these speeds, but I just don't think he wants to risk taking the punch, because if he takes the punch, he'll probably kill him. Well, actually, no, it won't.
Well, here's the thing straight away. the reason why Adam wants to try and dodge all these hits, because one of these hits could be potentially a fatal blow.
Yeah, because this isn't like I believe this is stated at one point. Okay, so unfortunately Kyle does not get too many things further in the rest of the fight. He just goes straight to the end. But there is a point in the fight where Adam's eyes do burst and he goes blind, and Zeus does land punches on him. But even while his eyes are like bursted, he's still able to block several attacks. Zeus does land several punches though, and is about to, well, I guess I can't say about to kill him because
I mean, like at this point, if you haven't read the manga, I don't know why you're looking at this. So go and read that before you watch this.
I'm already gonna put in the description. Like spoilers should be given at this point.
Yeah, but a very impressive feat for Adam is that even after he died, he kept on punching Zeus.
Yes, but so he's already dead after he goes blind. Does that mean he talked when he died, or was he dead before? Or was he dead after that point? Because so Zeus punches Adam, and then Adam, because he's blind, can't punch back or can't find him. So Adam grabs his hand and he's like, "I found you," with a smile, and then he attacks Zeus.
Well, more context to that, he tanks the hit and grabs Zeus.
Fucking champ. Yeah. And
we should note here as well, Zeus by this point was like near death as well. Like one punch would have ended him.
Yeah.
And Zeus pretty much admits at the end that while Zeus won the fight, he practically lost as well because he got put on his ass.
Oh, I didn't even notice that Zeus's eyes there aren't fucking crazy anymore. He knocked his eyes back into his sockets, Kyle.
Because let's put it this way, it's just pure luck that Zeus ended the fight before his transformation gave out.
Yeah, no. Again, personally, Zeus already died earlier in the fight. I do fucking hate This is the one fight I just outright hate the conclusion of, because Adam already won way earlier on in the fight. But no, yeah, the feats here are pretty freaking good, and Adam never actually falls down. He just stays standing. He does ultimately win the fight, though. This is, well, no. It's counted as his loss because he died, but Zeus basically acknowledges he won the fight, as you see right here. Zeus does also say that if the fight was a battle of attrition or endurance, then he would for sure have had to have called it a loss. So with all that in mind, I think we can talk a little, because we did mention, I think, a little bit of the backstories for the other characters. Zeus's only backstory here is fighting his father and beating his father in a fight.
That's pretty much all there is for Zeus, for the fact that the Titans pretty much put Zeus and the other gods in kind of their own Ragnarok tournament.
Yeah.
And the Titans obviously lost.
Yeah, as we see by Crow, the most powerful one.
For Adam, I didn't grab this one because I didn't think it was necessary, but I'll do so next time. But Adam does show that humans have powers before this tournament, because Adam copies a technique that the serpent was going to use to kill him.
So for context, in Adam's backstory, it's the Adam and Eve story, except it's never explained which god created Adam. There is a god referred to as the serpent who molests Eve, and then Eve's like, "No, I don't want to have sex with you." So the serpent bites the apple and frames Eve. Adam eats a bunch of the apples, so he gets kicked out with Eve. But before that happens, the serpent's like, "I'm going to kill you both. You don't get to have a happy ending." And then Adam just copies his attack and slices him to pieces with his bare hands.
Which pretty much shows that all these humans have their powers before, like, the tournament even happens. So all of these people are superhuman.
Yeah, no, bare minimum. I'm also emphasizing the Adam thing here, because in the third fight coming up, the guy has the ability, but it doesn't seem to be as good as it is during the actual fight. But this kind of helps solidify that it was that good by the time it was there, Because the third guy...
also at the same time, the third guy's ability kind of gets stronger as he goes along.
Yep, showing up as a fucking old man. So a bit of a little retroactive thing here for the last one. Someone pointed out that because Zeus and Adam can move at FTL speeds prior to the Infinite Punch or Zeus's final form, assuming the second thing is correct by what Kyle said, but it seems to be based on what the guy said in the comments, that would scale to Thor, which would scale to Lubu as a result, because Thor should be stronger than Ares. So that would be faster and light speed for bare minimum for Lubu and Thor, since we couldn't get a speed feat on them solidly last time.
Yeah, and based off the comments that Ares says, I think that's pretty accurate to say.
Oh yeah, there's also another comment here that Kyle didn't add here, but I remember it pretty well. Ares outright confirms that even if he trained for 1,000 years, he would not stand a chance against Adam.
Which would actually come more into the fourth fight as well when we talk about that.
Yeah, that's gonna matter more for when we talk about like. Okay, I'm just gonna say this now for just like, and anyone can disagree with me. Adam or Zeus, if they would have fought anyone else, would have bodied their opponent, no fucking questions asked.
Well, let's put it this way: as it currently stands, Adam would have bodied any of the gods that went up.
Yeah, as of right now, Adam would have beat anybody, and honestly, I don't think there's really anything any god could pull out that would actually beat Adam, because he can copy any ability. Being able to copy the time stop ability basically confirmed that.
Yeah, it pretty much confirms that the only limit the eyes of the Lord have is just don't overuse them.
And I don't think any other god would have survived being their entire head twisted, but I will never get over that fucking bullshit ass fucking.
Well, obviously not, because the next fight will prove that.
I fucking hate the ending of this fight so much. Adam deserved better. That's bullshit. He won that fight.
But that's such a good fight, though.
No, it's a good fight, but it's bullshit. He fucking dies. Like, they should have just left him blind afterwards. I think Zeus should have just been like, all right, you're blind. Whatever. You've lost this fight. But no, Adam just had to keep going. Adam just had to fucking die. This is the one matchup. This is my favorite fight in the entire series. Because it's simple, but it's a nice simple, in my personal opinion. And the backstory is nice too for both of them. It's just nice simple shit. Nothing crazy.
Like, speaking as a series going on, Zim knows that there are two people that I'm really looking forward to coming into the fight. Should we tell him who I'm looking forward to coming into the fight?
By all means, Kyle, take the floor.
Well, I'm looking forward to Nikola Tesla coming in.
I fucking hate you so fucking much. I knew you were going to say that. I fucking hate you.
Dude, Nikola Tesla's going to be dope.
He's going to fucking... He might be, but I fucking hate he's on the fucking list. What's he going to do? Get his idea stolen again?
Coils for the win, son.
I fucking hate you.
And the other one is the White Death, Simo Hahaya. If you don't know who Simo Hahaya is, look him up. He is awesome, especially what he did during World War II.
There actually is like, Kyle did send me a little 8-minute video. Here, let me scroll up real quickly to show you guys the thumbnail real fast. Kyle did show me a little 8-minute video of it. This one right here. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, no. But regarding the Zeus versus Adam fight, the only real other thing worth mentioning here outside, because the backstories are nice and simple. Eve's design is great. I will say I was surprised that Adam and
fuck.
Well, I mean, yeah, I didn't want to just fucking say she was hot as fuck, but yeah, I mean, I guess. I was surprised they went with a teenage-like appearance for Adam and Eve. I guess it's supposed to show off innocence, so to speak, because they were supposed to be innocent at one point.
There's nothing innocent about them tits.
To be fair, though, Adam doesn't react to it like the same way like anyone else would react to it. Like Eve just straight up hugs him, but he doesn't even notice it. He's just looking at Eve's face like, "Hey, are you okay? Don't cry." So, like, there's innocence there for sure, so I think that's the whole idea behind why he looks like a fucking teenager.
And can we say as well that it's really weird, because you see Cain and Abel, and they both look older than Adam.
Yeah, hang on. Abel for sure looks older, but let me see here. I know there's a picture of the kids somewhere. Like, you can see them like in one of these panels.
If you're on the actual manga, you'll see it. but I didn't get a picture of them.
No. I already saw them earlier in your. Here you go. Okay, so here's Cain right here, the little kid, and here's Abel, who looks like a grown adult. Like there's one panel with them right here. Eve has not shown up yet in the fight, or she hasn't shown up yet at all in the background. I guess the author was really saving that fucking Eve picture for later. It's a good picture, but like, yeah, no. For me, this was just the best fight in the series. Good respect all across the board, everything like that. The only thing that really holds it back for me is, again, the fact that Adam loses the fight when he clearly won. I'm never going to get over that, and people are going to be, like, in the comment section probably saying, like, does him get over it? I'm not going to get over it. It's bullshit. The next fight...
Make way for the MVPs. Make way for Nicola.
I'll fucking kill you. Okay, so... We can't confirm if Zeus is universal. Unfortunately, there's no direct statement confirming he's universal. But given he has powers of creation and can return anything he chooses to the void, he existed before the universe, and he is the king of the gods, and he also can defeat the personification of time himself, I think it is relatively safe to assume potentially a universal Zeus.
Well, I'd actually like to say something else too. There should be reason to believe that heaven existed before the human universe. So that's why I say, like, heaven should at least be, like, a higher dimension than the actual universe the people live in.
Yeah. So, I'm going to go with the bare minimum scaling for both of them and then work from there.
But we do have a quote from Shiva that pretty much, like, says that if Zeus wanted to, he could destroy heaven. So we could take that as a universal feat too.
Yeah, I think universal Zeus is fair game all across the board. So with that in mind, the scaling here would be as follows. It would be universal level plus, I would say.
There's one more if you want to think about it. The fact that he killed his father, who was like the personification of time, which means he would have had control over all of time, whether that be in the human universe or in heaven as well.
Yeah, okay, so we have right here, his father Cronus has been said. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is referring the punch has been said to, or if this is referring to his exact like attack, or if this is referring to Cronus. But Zeus has control over all of time as a result by being his son. The fist that surpassed time, and then again, once again, Adam just clocks his lights out. So for sure, I think we could argue for a fourth dimensional, but let's just say universal level plus max for Zeus right now, or which probably will stay like that.
Yeah, like
higher dimensions.
Probably, like at best, you got universe plus and infinite speed for both Adam and Zeus.
Yes. However, this would also scale the physical strength because Zeus seems to exert this power through physical attacks.
Yes.
And Adam can copy that. Adam's power really just seems to be unconfirmed, or how do I say this?
We can only confirm that like scaling off Zeus, which would be pretty accurate, seeing the fact that he nearly killed him.
Yeah, no, but what I mean is like since Adam's Eyes of the World can copy techniques and then like immediately use them, you could argue, and it can also copy any attack. You could argue Adam could scale higher or lower depending on what attack he copies. But I think just say like equalize to his opponent within a reasonable margin, I think is a fair way to put it.
His power seems to be the fact that he can copy the technique in every way, shape, and form. That means it's power, it's speed, and then just make it better.
He is able to tank Zeus and his full powers attacks as well, so durability for both of them would be easily either comparable to their raw power or their attack potency, or honestly far higher. They seem to be a lot more durable than they can punch because, again, they're firing off. Zeus is firing off his most powerful attack, Adam is returning an attack that's more powerful, and Zeus can tank those attacks over and over again.
Even though it doesn't show us the stop time, this should be a stronger and faster punch than the one that fast time.
Yeah, because this is Zeus with all of his power compressed together.
Yeah, this is a bloodlusted Zeus going for the kill shot.
Yeah, so I think it's just safe to assume the gods are not immune to time manipulation, except for Zeus.
Which, if you think about it, Zeus, while he won, he kind of lost as well, and it kind of adds a new dimension to his character because he has a new appreciation for humans.
Yeah,
and especially Adam.
Then that appreciation just went out the window after the third and fourth fights.
Hey, a flaming racist is a flaming racist.
he he just likes Adam. That's all I'm gonna say. He just likes Adam.
Everyone likes Adam.
Everyone likes Adam. Everyone like that. Yeah, so durability would be directly. Honestly, I'd just say higher than their AP because they are able to tank their hits very consistently. And obviously, powers and abilities. Adam's only real power is being able to copy any attack he sees, and Zeus just seems to have high muscle manipulation. I don't go into powers and abilities here for these videos, but like, there's not really anything directly shown for Zeus beyond that. It is implied Zeus has a weapon of some kind at the beginning of the fight, but he just chooses not to use it.
Yeah, can we also I didn't get this panel, but Zeus liked the fact that Adam chose Knuckle Dusters for his weapon.
Yeah, no, Zeus and Adam. Honestly, I kind of wish it would have confirmed that Zeus did create Adam, because Adam throughout the entire fight keeps calling him Pops. So I kind of just wish they would have confirmed that Zeus was his father, or like that Zeus did create him in some capacity.
This is kind of the problem with the series, is that there's so many mythologies, it's not clear which one is the truly dominant one. It implies it's the Greek pantheon, but it's very unknown.
Yeah, as of right now, until we see what Shiva and them can do, it seems to be that the Greek pantheon is the strongest pantheon. We do, because we've already seen the strongest Norse god, because that is what Thor is confirmed to be, and Thor does nothing, even on Poseidon's level, because we do see Poseidon fight later on. Honestly, and Thor doesn't even pull up that much to the fourth guy either. Thor's kind of a jobber when you think about it.
Kind of.
I'm pretty sure the series is trying to show. Good.
Yeah. So the human for the next fight will probably have the only power that could contest with Adam for a while.
Yeah. When we get to the third fight, we'll talk about Adam versus the third human in particular. Because
I know you're not the biggest fan of that fight, but I quite like the fight.
I'm not completely against the third fight. It's just that, like, I don't like a lot of these statements revolving around Poseidon in particular, because Poseidon is such a mucky character to work with.
Yeah, there are a couple of statements that he has, but the problem is we don't know,
like,
where
the best statement they get for Poseidon is he's the Zeus of the sea. But what the fuck does that actually mean?
Does that mean that he's the ruler of all the water gods? Does that mean that he has power comparable to Zeus himself? It's very unknown.
And there's nothing in that fight that demonstrates he's comparable to Zeus. Especially when Zeus busts out the punch that fucking surpasses time. No, there's nothing that comes close to that. Unless we assume Poseidon's stronger than Hermes. But it's never confirmed in the third backstory.
Here's something we also have to think about as well. It's the fact that you see Zeus as this old, decrepit man, and Poseidon is stated to be older than him, and I'm not gay, but he's drop-dead gorgeous.
Yeah, like, even young, like, here's young Zeus here with his teeth knocked out. He already looks older than what Poseidon looks like. I guess you could argue then that Zeus looks the way he does because of his muscle manipulation. It just taxes his body so much that he can't keep up, like, a young form anymore.
Yeah. To pretty much, like, if you haven't read the series, the way Poseidon looks like he could be in his early 20s.
Yeah, no, Poseidon looks young. Poseidon looks like what you would expect the gods to look like. And for the most part, most of the gods do look, like, eternally young. Just not Zeus. And Odin.
Yeah, Zeus and Odin are the only ones who look old. But when you picture both of them, you expect them to be.
Yeah, no, like, you expect them to be old, so that's fine. Overall, though, again, really good fight. They seem to be the strongest characters in their respective sides as of right now. We haven't seen what Shiva can fully do yet, but the fight right now for the fifth fight is on Shiva, so maybe Shiva will be able to bust something out.
We won't know what he's truly capable of until they give us the backstory for him.
Oh, right. He's getting his backstory next, right? Because we already got the backstory for the human fighter.
Well, we already got it for the human fighter, so I'm predicting that he should be getting one at least next chapter.
Yeah, no, he has to be because that's the way it works. Like first we get one backstory for one character, then we get one for another character.
The way the series is going, we'll probably end up getting. We'll probably end up finishing the 4th fight before the 5th one is done. So by that point, we'll, instead of like trying to power scale the 5th one based on what we've got, we'll wait for that one to finish. But we'll probably do more like who we think will fight who and more.
Yeah,
just like
we'll try and have discussions about the manga after we're done with all these videos because I know several people who read it, but like because Neo reads it, but I didn't want to include Neo in this because I didn't want it to get too crazy or too long.
On top of that, we also we might actually put some of the characters in versus matchups to see how they would do, because they do actually have pretty good scaling.
If Adam can copy anybody, like he basically negs most people.
Well, I've already thought of a fight that we could do for Adam, but it would take a bit of research.
Well, we'll save that for outside the video. So,
with
that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day. We'll see you on the next streamer video, or I'll see you on the next streamer video. These guys usually show up on the stream, so it's all good.